Cardi B says she ran into somebody at an Oscars after party. So Cardi B was on live again after the Oscars.
Cardi B says she ran into someone at an Oscars all-nighter. So Cardi B was on live again. After the Oscars during the live, Cardi was on the telephone. She picked up the telephone and she never affirmed who she ran into. And she never gave any further subtleties, however, within you. Cardi saw Darling and probably she headed toward her and began hollering in front of her what you got to say now or something to that effect. After the extravagant 2024 Oscars, everybody was discussing Cardi B and Psy and their expected standoff at the Vanity Fair get-together. Fans were really inquisitive about what happened when these two female whizzes ran into each other, particularly considering their previous competition. I certainly ran into someone. You realize you know me. I don't play that. Cardi B's Instagram live meeting made things much more extreme, with her dropping clues about a disagreement and Psy's puzzling tweet about being a young lady who stays out of other people's affairs simply added to the hypothesis. Even after the fervor of the Oscars subsided, individuals couldn't quit discussing about this experience, passing on to find out about what occurred and why. So with practically no further ado, we should get into this whole show. So after that, her fans began guessing who she was discussing, and they was accepting that she was discussing Darlene, cause Darlene had tweeted, I'm simply a terrible that mind her business on the off chance that you could do without me, that is on you. And your mother boo, as the theory encompassing Cardi B and Sui's experience has arrived at its edge of boiling over. We really want to review the set of experiences between the two craftsmen in 2022. Reports whirled about Psy's supposed undertaking with Offset, Cardi B's better half. At the time, the Tattle Factory went into overdrive, energizing strains between the two rap stars and their separate accomplices. Individuals felt that Card and Darling had hamburger due to the bits of gossip that Darling could have laid down with Offset. The circumstance took on new aspects when Quavo says previous sweetheart and Offset's cousin dropped the tune Untidy, with verses that appeared to escape to the supposed issue. Fans quickly conjectured about the significance behind these verses, with many highlighting Sai and Offset's reputed relationship as the wellspring of the music dramatization. So there's been a ton of discuss this insane experience between Cardi B and Psy at the Vanity Fair Oscars party op. Ervers portray Cardi B as the assailant, claiming that she started a verbal fight with Psy, raising the generally charged air of the occasion. As per insiders, Cardi burned through no time in defying Psy, moving toward her with a flood of allegations and fierce language. The insider made sense of Cardi. I saw Psy and went directly over to her and began shouting what you got to say now or something to that effect. It was genuine ghetto. Psy attempted to behave, yet she didn't withdraw. Essentially, Cardi was embarrassing herself shouting, and Psy didn't withdraw yet, didn't speak more loudly in spite of her forceful disposition. Psy purportedly stayed made and honorable all through the trade, declining to raise what is going on. Additional observers noticed Psy's refusal to speak loudly or take part in the squabble, featuring her obligation to keeping a cool head despite incitement, as hypotheses whirled about the purpose for the showdown. Fans and spectators tried to reveal reality behind the ill will between Cardi B and Psy. Some conjectured that the quarrel originated from waiting strains connected with past reports and charges, while others highlighted individual complaints or expert contentions as potential impetuses for the showdown. After the showdown, Cardi B and Psy both went via virtual entertainment to discuss what occurred at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. Cardi B's Instagram live via online entertainment implied that our experience with Psy was extraordinary. She said, I certainly ran into someone. You know me. I don't play that. Despite the fact that Cardi offered no unmistakable responses, her online entertainment action continued to figure about her quarrel with SOI. Fans examined Cardi B's post to sort out what was the deal with her relationship. Certain individuals contemplated whether she was still with her significant other Offset, since she went to the party with one more person. This brought up issues about the condition of her marriage and added more show to the circumstance. A client remarked, saying, I don't completely accept that Psy laid down with Offset. Another person composed, I accept Cardi B as a harasser cosplaying as a young lady. In all actuality, do dab chejar continuously. attempting to run up on somebody as though anybody is terrified of her. Then again, Saweetie additionally made some noise via web-based entertainment about the episode she tweeted. I'm simply a miscreant that mind my business if on the off chance that you could do without me. That is on you, sweet potato mother boo. Salway remained even-tempered and didn't engage in the show like her rival. She just centered around her self-improvement and flexibility, as opposed to raising the circumstance her reaction via web-based entertainment showed that she needed to transcend the dramatization and keep up with her honesty as a craftsman. She didn't allow herself to get hauled into trivial battles and dealt with the situation with development and effortlessness. How did you and Quo meet him? We were seeing each other around the LA ton. Are you okay with discussing your relationship with her? Better believe it, after the dramatization between Cardi B and Say, fans couldn't resist the opportunity to recollect Say's previous relationship with Quavo. The two began dating in 2018 and immediately turned into a well-known couple in the rap world, known for their tender signals and backing for one another anyway. In Walk 202, once Say affirmed their separation on Twitter, referring to selling out as the explanation. This news stunned fans and prompted hypotheses about what truly occurred among them and what it would mean for their professions. Things took a sensational turn when a video of Quavo and Say battling in a lift surfaced internet-based. The video showed them battling over a container, causing shock and analysis from fans and pundits. This brought up issues about the poisonousness of their relationship and what happened. Ed, in secret, Say later stood in opposition to the split separation and the battle, saying she felt deceived by Quavo, answered with his very own tweet communicating lament over the separation and conceding that she wasn't the lady that he thought she was. The go-off rapper composed, "I realize you needed to make this into a show, so I'll have my influence this one time. I don't typically put my business out there, particularly my own life. I want to address this, so there are no misleading accounts." In another tweet, Quavo added, "I had love for yourself and disheartened you did all that. You are not the lady I thought you were. I wish you only awesome." To which Say answered, "Take care," like it never at any point arrived at that mark of exposure. Like nobody realizes who I'm discussing. And did they resemble? Might you at any point pursue? Here is the individual. Is they popular? Is they? You're certainly renowned Mimnerea. I have no remark in the midst of the multitude of bits of gossip and tattle about Offset and Cardi B chose to keep silent. She needed to fan the fire and decided to deal with the circumstance without help from anyone else. In a meeting on the Jason Lee web recording, Cardi made sense of why she didn't address the reports. She need to figure out reality as opposed to becoming involved with theory and tattle. By remaining quiet, she expected to abstain from spreading misleading stories and engaging in the show encompassing her own life. She said, "You know why I hushed up? I hushed up on the grounds that one thing I will do, I will figure out reality." And you realize that I was figuring out that reality. So it's like, if on the off chance that I engage some falsehood on the web, individuals resemble gracious. It is valid in the light of the fact that you're tending to it, yet when I don't address it's valid or not to. So I'm similar to you, understand what I'm simply not going to engage these, since in such a case that I engage it will continue to go easingly long by the day's end. I understand what's happening in my home, so it's like I have gained from those encounters not to try and address things that is happening in my home when I know reality, cause it's like individuals going to exacerbate it, cause it's diversion. Despite the fact that Cardi decided not to address the tales about Offset and Say, she didn't keep down when it came to managing skeptics via web-based entertainment when somebody blamed her for lying about her significant other's supposed unfaithfulness. Cardi guarded herself wildly. She denied the claims and requested security, and wouldn't engage in superfluous shows. So fundamentally, the entire thing with Cardi B and Say at the Vanity Fair Oscars party is a sign of how confounded big-name connections can be. Individuals are discussing minister undertakings and warmed contentions between these two rap stars, and it has fans and pundits generally disturbed up, starting a ton of discussions and conversations. Yet what is your perspective on the tales encompassing Cardi B and Say's experience? Do you trust there's any reality to the hypothesis, or is it all gossip? Share your considerations in the remarks underneath, and remember to buy in and ring the warning chime to remain